Hi, I'm Ian Anderson, an Apple Certified Trainer, and you may remember me from previous videos such as all those tutorials for CoreMelt and those other tutorials from MacProVideo.com. Well, this video is about just one quick color correction tip, which is in my book, Final Cut Pro Efficient Editing. Now, let's have a look on the screen to figure this out. If you head to Final Cut Pro Commands Customize, you'll get to the Command Editor. What you want to do here is search for the word color, and you want to assign a shortcut to these three commands. Apply color correction from previous clip, 2 clips back, and 3 clips back. You'll want to use 3 keys in a row on the keyboard, with apply color correction from previous clip being assigned to the rightmost key. So with the new shortcuts in place, how do we use them in a color correction workflow? Well, I'm starting with this first clip, and I'm going to drag the exposure on the midtones down a bit, then head to saturation and boost the midtone and shadow saturation. Now I'm going to head to curves, boost the overall brightness a little and take down the shadows to push the contrast. Push it up in red, then down on the shadows in red to get a bit of that vintage old-time feel. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, if you want to take that color correction to the other clips in the timeline, there's an obvious way, but it's not the best approach. So if you were to copy the first clip and then use paste effects or paste attributes, it'll put those effects onto the target clips. But every time you paste, it'll add more, which is just a bit of a pain to manage. So instead, using the shortcut, which we've just created for the apply color correction command, replaces color corrections on the target clip. And so all I need to do now is apply from previous, apply from previous, apply from previous, and that was only a starting point. I think this clip needs a little bit of further tweaking, so I'll push the exposure down a little bit on the midtones and the shadows, and I think maybe the highlights as well. And then I can see, does it match the previous shot? Yeah, look, that's pretty good. But then this next clip, do I want to copy from just the previous clip, which I just checked, or the one before that with the previous correction? You've got the flexibility to choose what's the best starting point for each clip. And you can revise as well. So heading back to this earlier clip, I might decide the midtones need to come up, the shadows come down, the highlights up, and maybe curves is fine. Then I go to the next clip and see, well, do I copy from the one before or the one immediately before? You can flick around between neighboring clips really, really easily now. You always have access to the previous 3 clips. Now, if you make a crazy change, then you can select a whole heap of clips in a row and just press the apply from previous command, and it copies to the entire selection from the clip just before the selection. This will save you a ton of time. This is only one of the many, many tips in my book. This is on page 433 and 434, along with a whole chapter on color grading. Now, some of you might be wondering, why would you want to learn Final Cut Pro from a book? Isn't video the best format to learn video editing? And the answer is maybe sometimes. If you go to YouTube, then you can get quick answers to things if you're asking the right questions, but you might have to wait a few minutes first. I find personally that it's just not efficient enough. It's quicker to read than to watch. And a book is always exactly your speed. It's where you left it. It's instant random access, and the information density is way higher. So if you do want to buy a book, there should be a special deal near this video somewhere. And if not, you can always find it at fcpefficientediting.com. Hope that helps. See you soon.